Hello, English learners, Toeic students, and anybody looking to improve their everyday and business English. Today, we're going to look at 5 key vocabulary for business and Toeic. Plus, we are going to look at 4 Toeic questions, and I'm going to show you how to get the answer. So let's start with some of these key vocabulary. Here is the first. The first one is shift. Now, today we will look at 2 meanings of shift. The first is the hours someone is scheduled to work in one day. For example, tomorrow I start work at 11 a.m. and I finish at 7 a.m. So I have an 8-hour shift at the restaurant. Or during COVID, some nurses work 20-hour shifts. By the way, thank you all healthcare workers. Now, it's very common to say somebody works or has a number-hour shift. You can also say a morning shift, an evening shift, an afternoon shift. So that is the first meaning. The second meaning of shift is a small change in direction or strategy, thought. Here's an example. For many years, the company did not recycle any materials. However, they have recently started to do this. So there has been an environmental shift in the company, or there has been a shift in the company's environmental policies. So you can see there has been a small change. Let's look at real life. 20 years ago, most politicians did not openly support gay rights. However, now most do. Well, in Canada, anyway. There has been a political shift related to LGBTQ rights. So we can see, we often say there has been a shift in area. So a small change. Now, shift can also be a verb. An example, there was a shift in the company's policy. You can also say the company's policy shifted, so changed. So I have a question for you. What political, economic, or social shifts have taken place in your country over the last 10, 20, 30 years? The next word is apply to. Now, there are 2 definitions for apply. One is to make a formal request for something. An example, he applied for the job. She applied for a work visa. The other is when we use apply to something, and this applies to a person or a group. This group or person has to follow the rule or receive the benefit or receive the item. For example, if you are a student, you can receive a 10% discount at the restaurant. So this discount applies to students. So students can receive this discount. Or the new parking rules apply to students, but not faculty at the university. So the students have to follow the rules. Now, the adjective for apply is applicable. So the students, we can see if you are a student, the rules apply to you. So the new rules are applicable to students. So we can see the rules apply to someone or the rules are applicable to someone. Okay, so let's try 2 Toeic questions. Here is the first. Let's start very simple and eliminate an answer that is definitely wrong. First, remove D, adjustment. This is just because of grammar. We see we have a. A adjustment is wrong. Before adjustment, you would need an, because adjustment starts with a vowel sound, So you would need an. So adjustment is definitely wrong. Now let's get to the hard part. Read the whole idea and simplify. Okay. Due to a blank in her political views, she stopped supporting the immigration law. So she no longer supported the legislation. Legislation is law and no longer supports. She did it in the past, but not anymore. So we can see she no longer supports the legislation. So she stopped supporting it. So she changed her views on this legislation. Why did she change the views? Why did she change her support? Because she changed her views. What is another word for a change? A shift. So there was a shift in her political views. So she no longer supported the law. She no longer agreed with it because there was a change, there was a shift. So the answer is A. 129. Let's go back to the key vocabulary from earlier. This was apply to. Apply to means this person can receive it. This person has to follow it. It is connected to them. So the discount only applies to students. So only students can get it. So the adjective is applicable. The discount is only applicable to students. If we look at this Toeic question, who can get the offer? Only customers. So the offer is only applicable to customers who have signed up for the loyalty program. Therefore, the answer is B. Now, we can eliminate required to because it's required to verb, not noun. For example, people are required to wear a seatbelt. Notice the verb. We can eliminate scheduled to for the same reason, scheduled to verb. The event is scheduled to take place on Tuesday. And we can eliminate grateful because grateful equals thankful. So the offer is thankful? No, a person or an organization is thankful or grateful. All right, let's look at the rest of the vocab. Number 3 is found, found, founded. Okay? Found, founded, founded. Do not confuse it with find, found, found. Found means to establish or create an organization, maybe a business. For example, Elon Musk co-founded Tesla in 2003. So he established this company, he created it. Or Chaleo Uvidya, my pronunciation is terrible, but he developed the drink and founded Red Bull in 1976. So he's established this company. Now in passive voice, we could say Red Bull was founded by him in 1976. So found, founded, founded is different than find, found, found. Number 4, convene. Convene is a verb that means people gather or meet together, usually in a formal situation. Here's an example. All staff will convene in the meeting room at 7 p.m. So they will meet there. Or before the protest, people should convene at the Central Park fountain for a review of the plan. We should meet there. Now, convene is a root word for convention. They call it a convention, for example, a business convention, a hospitality convention, because many people in the same industry convene at a certain location. The next word is allocate. To allocate resources or money is to give an amount from a large budget to a specific purpose. Let's look at an example. The government has a large budget, probably billions of dollars, but many governments allocate 25%, 30% of the total budget to healthcare. So they put that money aside. They send it directly towards healthcare. If you look at the United States allocates over $500 billion a year to its military, while China allocates about $250 billion. Now, you can look this up, but you can find out how much money does your country allocate to certain areas? For example, how much do they allocate to healthcare, police, roads, and so on? All right, so let's get back to the TOEIC questions. We got two more. 111, here it is. Well, firstly, if you use expect to or expected to, you need a verb after it, a base verb. An example, we are expected to meet on Thursday, or it is expected to happen next week. Well, gathering is a gerund. It is not a base verb. So eliminate D. Well, what is the answer? Well, team members are expected to meet at the San Francisco office. What is another word for meet? Convene. Therefore, the answer is B. The last TOEIC question, here it is. Well, you can eliminate C immediately because organizations is plural. Notice the S. Therefore, you will not use has. Remember, it has, they have. Organizations have, an organization has. So right away, we can eliminate has founded. Okay, so we're getting rid of C immediately. Next, you need to use passive voice. Remember, people found an organization. Therefore, an organization is founded. So, someone or a group of people founds an organization. Okay, so they establish it. So in passive voice, an organization is founded. If it's past tense, an organization was founded. If people have founded organizations, well, passive voice, organizations have been founded. Therefore, the answer is B. All right, this was a quick lesson. We learned 5 key vocabulary. Here they are again. If you need to review, but you have just improved your TOEIC score and your business English. Please like, subscribe, and share, and have a wonderful day. Bye.